Hello guys, it's me Happy Dino back with another video. I wanted to make a update video on my merch video because that was not like up to the par. So I have 14 different merging points which you guys should focus on and take into under consideration and remember them because they will help you in merging. Number one is there are different specific types of merchers. For example, there are people which are good at remembering the prices of vanities. They are good with merging and buying stuff and also remembering the prices of gears, house items, jewels, etc, random stuff like that. So first of all, you should just pick up one of those different types of merchings, like which type of merch you're gonna do, which type of items you're good at, which type of items you already know the prices of. So for example, you can go for vanities only for mages or for warriors or for rogues. Normally mages vanities are cheaper, warriors are expensive, rogues are normal-ish. You can also go for weapons, just like gears, krakens, and arcane gear basically, and different types of wakes on them. For example, some merchants I know only go for gold loot items and they only merge with gold loot items. They know their prices, so it's easier to get your mind cluttered with different prices and mix up. So it's better to just choose one type of item and just merge in them. For example, look at these house items and jewels, different chests, pets, and badges. People merge in different type of those items, so you can choose one specific type of merching which you want to do. Number two is whenever you're merging, only use 50% of your gold. Like no matter how much gold you have, just like if I have like 100 million, then I can like merge with 50 million and keep 50 million as security for myself, just in case I stumble upon like a huge loss in merging, so I won't like lose everything I have. Then as a number 4, I will say that don't trust test. Like don't give people stuff. Like in a trust test, what happens is like a friend comes up to you and tells you that to give him everything you have. In return, he will give everything he has to you, just to show that you guys trust each other. Just like I did with Narzuk, I gave him a lot of items. But if it was a trust test, it wouldn't be like cheap items. I would be giving him like every good thing I have. Just like he instinctively answered me like, why don't I give him my holy set, which is like 2 billion. So if I give him my stuff and then he gives them back to me, showing that he's a true friend, and then he does the same, that's a trust test. But if I was scamming him, I would give him some items, not my holy set, something else which he thought that I would have, and it would be like really expensive, but I wouldn't give him like everything. And then in return he gives me all of his stuff. Meanwhile, I'm like showing him that I'm super poor. And then when he gives me his items, then I don't give him back and basically block him. That's a trust test scam, and you guys like won't believe like how many people have gotten into that scam and lost everything they had. So never do a trust test. Next up, I would say that always check prices. Always keep checking prices of stuff which you have. Like always triple check. Number 1 is go in auction, look in the item's price, just like I did over here. Then number 2, if you never trust the price of the auction, so you should just go to your friends, look for a friend which is already a mercher, which you know that is a mercher. For example, just like I did over here, I found a friend which I knew that knows prices like Matador, and then I asked him that how much is that item. Basically that's what you need to do and wait for their answer. The third step is to just go on a browser, look up spacetimestudios.com, and from there go for Arcane Legends and in the forums. And in the forums you can like search the item up and look its prices there. Those are the 3 steps. Okay, now on number 6 we have always remember the general prices of items. Like just like with their Volcanum tables over here, I remember that they used to be 11 million because I bought a few in the past. That's why I remember their prices. Just like that, you can buy different items of the specific type which you're merging, and you can remember their prices. So in the later times when somebody tries to sell them, if you know that their price is higher or lower, and that will actually help you in your merging as well. Okay, so now on number 7 we have that if somebody auctions an item cheaper than yours, like you bought a foreigner set for 20 million and you want to sell it for 40, which is its like normal price, remember, because I remember the prices. But if somebody auctions it for 20 million, what do? Okay, you should wait it out. Just wait it out until the guy sells it out, and after he has sold the item, like after 3 or 4 days, then just auction your item for the correct price and then hope for the sale. Okay, now on the number 8th point, we're discussing about the items which are hard to sell. Like you bought an item, it was being sold for 14 mil, you knew that it was for like 24 or 25 mil. All of your friends agreed, you checked the forums, the price was okay, everything was like okay. But then you try to sell it, and guess what? You can't sell it. It's hard to sell. Okay, so if the item turns out to be hard to sell, what do? You just wait it out, man. You try to sell it for 3 to 4 days and see if it sells. Don't rush. Try to rush to sell it. Just wait for it and then minimize the amount of profit you can have. Like if it's not selling for 24, okay, so what? Try to sell it for 20. At least you make like 4 million profit out of that. Or in some cases just go for like 1 million profit or 500k profit. As long as it's not a loss, it's a profit. A profit to be had is made. Even if the profit is not like a lot, the profit from the item sold is not a lot, but still you made a profit. That's what counts at the end of the day, right? But there are sometimes cases in which like you can't make any profit at all, like you're basically making a loss. You have bought an item which is stuck, you can't sell it, your money is all held up. So in that case, you just do what the big companies in this world do, man. Just minimize your losses. If you bought an item for 14 mil, it's just not selling even for 15, just try to sell it for maybe 12 million or 11.5 million. As long as you minimize your losses, because keeping an item which is hard to sell, which is never gonna sell, is not gonna make you any profit. So the best course of action is to minimize your profit, sell it for a little bit cheaper, take a little bit loss, but get pure money back. Pure money means that the amount of gold you have. These are two different types of terms used in merching, which is my point number 9, which is like pure is gold. Like if somebody says 10 M pure, he means that 10 million gold. And C.O means counter offer. Counter offer is you're selling an item for 10 million, somebody offers you 9 million, and you said okay, I will note it as a counter offer. Another person comes up to you, tries to buy it for 7 million. Then you say, sorry buddy, I have a counter offer, C.O of 9 million. And if he's an experienced merger, he will understand that you already have an offer of 9, and he will probably give you an offer of 9.5, which is above the counter offer. Try to outbid him, or he might pay you the amount of money which you're asking for, which is your auto, which is 10 million. Auto is the amount of money which you want to get at the end of the sale. Okay, now we're at the 10th point. 10th point is don't rush. Never try to rush sell or rush buy. If somebody's trying to sell something, he's saying he's trying to sell it rush, which means that he's just trying to get rid of it, so he will probably accept a merch price. But for a mercher, selling an item for merch or for a rush is never good, so never do that. And buying an item in a rush, like if you see an item selling for 40 million, you're like, oh my god, I remember it used to be 20 million, and you try to buy it. Just like the Forerunner sets for Rogue right now, they used to be 66 million each, now they're going for 30, and most of the people are not buying them, and they're going for like 25. So if somebody lists some in auction for 23 million each, and you're like, oh my god, I just came back to the game and a month ago they used to be 66 mil, I should buy them all. Don't. Just remember the 3-step process. Ask your friends, check forums, and you will understand the price of the item has actually dropped. So in this case, you were about to rush buy the item, but you didn't, and that actually saved your loss to be had. Okay, on the 11th point, I will give a simple explanation, which is keep your money moving. Whenever you have a lot of money which you're using for your merching, remember we started out with like 50 mil. So you need to keep the money moving. You can buy some item which you really like, you want to keep it, but remember that at the end of the day you bought it for merching, you didn't buy it for yourself. So you need to sell it. No matter how much you like it, you bought it for a profit, so you are to sell it. You cannot hold the items. If you keep the money moving, then the money will keep your wallet moving. As simple as that. Okay, so after all that points and all of that merching, you probably made a lot of money by now. Like if you started with 50 mil, you probably are at like 150 or 200 mil by now. So you ask me, what do I do with this money, Dino? Like I made 50 mil, I made, like, even if you started on a small scale, you just made 5 mil, just like I made right now in the auction by selling some stuff. What do you do with it? So as a merging rule developed by myself, I only spend 10% on myself. Like if I made 5 mil, you see, I just put 500k in my stash for my use, and I'm gonna merge with 4.5 million again, which is actually a profit because I sold the item for a profit, and now I can like merge with that profit as my initial merging amount, which I'm gonna use. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be like using my assets of merging for myself on myself. I only spend 10% of what I make on myself, and that's the rule of merging. You can't like spend more than 10, 15 or 20% of how much profit you make on yourself. Remember, it's not the amount of money which you started with merging. Like if I started with 50 million, I can't like spend 2.5 million on myself. No, I can like let me give you a proper example. If I started with 50 million, I can't spend 2.5 million on myself. I will have to like use it all on merging again. But if I use my 50 million and then I made a profit of 10 million, then I can spend like around 1 million on myself, keep 9 million for merging again with a higher budget to merge with. Okay, so we're pretty late into the video by now, and only people which are watching are true veterans, or true people which are actually here to try to learn how to merge, which are actually here to just make some money, man, because it's super hard. So I have 2 bonus steps for you guys. Okay, super easy, makes you a quick buck on the side with your merging, and it's not hard to do. Okay, number 1 is auction fixing. I call it auction fixing. You just basically go in auction, look up in prices of items, just like this Kershal over here. It's for 170 mil, which is its normal price. But if somebody listed it for like 100 mil, I knew the price was higher, I could just buy it off auction, list it back in 170 million, and hope for it to sell. And if it sells, then I get the money. And I have done it like countless times. Totally legal. You can't get banned over it. It's just completely fine, because the person who was trying to sell it in auction for cheaper was just trying to get some quick gold, quick money. He just didn't want to waste his time in maps and trying to sell merch, so he just sold it in auction for a merch price. So you just bought it, and it's just because you remember the steps, you remember the prices, so you knew you were all green, all clear, and then you just made a quick buck on the side. And on my 14th and last step, I have market speculation, which is super easy. Like if you are like in the event, just like if you're in Xavier and Arcane pets are like selling for like 100k, 120k, always wait for the event end. Like after the event has ended, then later on the prices will drop, because people won't be as excited to buy those items anymore, and they will be selling those items for rush prices, and they just want some gold for them. And here's where you come in. You know that the Arcanes are gonna be selling for around 500k later when people need APS. So just like that, you can buy stuff which is not from the current event, from the event which just ended. Like if an event ended, other one started, after like waiting 1 or 2 or 3 days, you see the prices fall like really low. You buy the items, you keep them for like a week or 2, 3 weeks, their price rise back up, then you sell them. That's also a side profit to be made. That's it. Those are the 14 points. Try to remember them. As long as you follow these points, you will make money, and that's how you merge properly. Sorry for such a long video, but it is what it is. You have to learn these points to understand how to merge and actually make some money. And that's it. Keep smiling, subscribe, get rich. Oh, by the way, the link for the forums and link for my Discord server is in the description.